Before Faraday, people thought about electricity and magnetism in terms of force acting across empty space. One charge pulls on another, instant and direct through nothing. And Faraday didn't like this philosophy. It didn't feel right to him. So he imagined that a magnet sends something out into space, filling the space around it, and that other magnets feel this something. He called them lines of force. And if you've ever seen iron filings that are sprinkled around a magnet and arrange themselves into beautiful curving patterns, that is what Faraday was imagining. And those patterns are God. Those patterns are the invisible field made visible. Faraday discovered then electromagnetic induction he wrapped a coil of wire around one side of an iron ring, and I can only picture this as the coil of wire never touched the iron ring. It was just wrapped loosely around the iron ring. Then he did another one on the other side. They were not connected, and he connected the first coil loosely to a battery, and when he first turned it on, for an instant, the current flowed in the second coil. When he disconnected the battery, another current flowed in the opposite direction. But in between, as he left the battery connected, and it was steady, there was nothing changing, right? Nothing happened in the second coil. When things change, however, when the current is shrinking or growing, the other coil responds. So a changing magnetic field forms an electrical field. The growing current in the first coil formed an electrical field in the second coil, and the electrical field pushed electrons and current flows. Once the magnetic field stops changing, however, the electrical field disappears, and this is a principle behind every electric generator ever built. In a magnet near a coil of wire, the magnetic field through the coil is constantly changing, first one direction and then the other. That changing field forms an electrical field and the current flows. So now you've converted mechanical motion into electricity. Every power plant, every windmill, and every hydroelectric dam works on this principle that Faraday discovered. Equation 4, electric currents form magnetic fields, and so do changing electric fields. This was Maxwell's insight that allows electromagnetic waves to exist. He saw that a changing electrical field acts like a current that forms a magnetic field. And so he called this the displacement current. When he added this term, out popped a wave equation that predicted that the disturbances in electric and magnetic fields would propagate through space as waves. And when he calculated the speed of the waves from the known properties of electricity and magnetism, he got 300,000 kilometers per second. The speed of light measured by astronomers looking at the moons of Jupiter. So when Maxwell tidied up the equations of electricity and magnetism, light fell out. The same equations that describe how magnets attract and batteries push also describes how light travels through space. So he wrote that the agreement of the results seemed to show that light itself is an electromagnetic disturbance in the form of waves propagated according to the principles of electromagnetism. And every experiment done by science since then has confirmed what he wrote. So per the equations, we have a changing magnetic field that forms an electric field, which as it changes forms a magnetic field. So the two fields are not separate at all. They just keep regenerating each other, leapfrogging through space at the speed of light. And the wave sustains itself. It does not need waves or any other matter. It just goes. So for centuries, physicists assumed there had to be something for light to wave in, some substance from space called ether. Experiments have proven that there is no such substance. Light simply waves in nothing, or it waves in the electromagnetic field, which is made of nothing fundamental. Same difference. We can call it nothing, or we can call it the electromagnetic field. When Maxwell calculated the speed of electromagnetic waves and got a number that matched the speed of light, that was a unification, right? Before Maxwell, we had electricity, magnetism, and optics as three separate branches of physics. After Maxwell, they were one. This is the power of physics, to take things that seem different and show that they are really the same, to find the hidden unity behind the diversity. And the electromagnetic field is one such unity. So what is a field made of? Well, we don't know. Nobody knows. It's there. It's simply a fundamental aspect of nature. It's that presence, that stillness, right? In quantum field theory, we find the electromagnetic field as being capable of existing in different quantum states. The ripples in the field, when you look at them, quantum mechanically become discrete packets or photons, and light is made of photons. But photons are not a little ball flying through space as we imagine them. They're just simply an excitation of the electromagnetic field, a unit of disturbance that is still the field. The electromagnetic field carries momentum or energy. So when light shines on you, it pushes you or it pulls you. The pressure is too small to feel, but it's there. Sunlight pushes the earth, and it can do this because the electromagnetic field has momentum. Think about this. Something that has no mass, travels at the speed of light, has momentum, and can push on things. That is God. It's not a two-legged human being in the sky. This is the puzzle so many have worked through, and the answer lies in the energy of the field. Where there is energy, there is then something like mass. Thanks to Einstein's equation of energy equals mass, E equals mc squared, right? The energy of a beam of light acts like a tiny mass and gives it momentum. So when a photon bounces off a mirror, it actually transfers momentum to the mirror, and the mirror actually recoils slightly, and this is called radiation pressure, and it keeps the tail of a comet pointing away from the sun. Because the sunlight pushes on the tiny particles of dust, and even though they are receding, the pressure of the light sculpts the tail of the comet. Was it the pressure of the light that sculpts our bodies? No. The energy stored in the electromagnetic fields is immense. The light from the sun travels 93 million miles in 8 minutes and still has enough energy to warm our face and power photosynthesis. So where was that energy during those 8 minutes? Well, it was in the electromagnetic field traveling through space. The energy density of the electromagnetic field can be calculated. Near a lightning bolt, the fields are intense, and so is the energy. Near a radio transmitter, it's less so. Everywhere there is a field, there is energy.